Hey everyone, it's Kai from Cool Collectibles back again for another review. This time it's the Sideshow Collectibles Masters of the Universe Evil-Lyn statue. For all your 1/6 scale figures and more, click the link in the description below to head on over to Sideshow Collectibles. They ship worldwide, so definitely check them out. Alright, so if you follow the channel, you'll know that I've been loving the last two statues in this line with He-Man and Skeletor. Skeletor in particular was a beautiful statue. And I have to say straight off that this Evil-Lyn is also a gorgeous statue, but it does have one issue that should be fairly easily fixed, but is one issue that does bother me slightly. So I'll just go through what you do get with it. I did get the exclusive version, which comes with, I think it's Screech. I can't actually remember from the cartoon, to be honest, but it's this accompanying mini statue, if you want to call it that, which is actually pretty nicely detailed and painted. So it's got the standard sort of snake mountain type base with the lava and so on, and it's actually the weight to it's not too bad. It does feel like a solid piece and not hollow, so the material is pretty good, and the overall paint application and detail is pretty good too. Sorry if that's not focusing. And the detailing on the raven or bird itself is pretty good. So for an exclusive piece, it's not too bad, an extra accessory. On the statue, you'll see that I've sort of set it up in its bare bones state. It does come with a magnetic neck piece here, and that is because you have this alternate magnetic neck piece that has the sort of material that attaches to the hands as well. So you can attach it to the neck there. If you watch the Sideshow sort of unboxing, you'll see that they put that on, drape these around the rear here, and cross them over at the back, and then essentially both of these hands have a little ring groove where you can put that. So I'll do that a bit later in the review, but it was easier if I just did this bare bones one to give you a look at all the detail. The head sculpt I think is definitely very nicely done. The paint application is nice and clean, no issues on mine. I do love the fact that they've got the really nice dark glossy lips, and I think the makeup around the eyes and the eyebrows are very nicely done. So I can't complain about that too much. And I do like the headpiece there as well, with the sort of metallic wash there and the shiny black paint in the middle, and on the rear it's all nice and clean on the rear as well. And the back tattoo on the neck there continues down to the back there. Now I guess probably a little bit of a nitpick, it's not actually painted on, it's tamped on. So if you do look up close, you can see along the edges there where it's sort of been stuck on. So it's not perfectly clean there, but I guess I do understand why they decided to tamp that on, just for the ease of that production, I guess, in getting that snake tattoo on there. And it does, you know, from the normal sort of viewing distance, it does look very nice. The overall sculpted detail on the gauntlets and the bodice, if you want to call it that bodysuit, is very nice. It's all, there's nothing metallic on the statue that I can see apart from the staff here. So on the body and the legs and so on, I don't think there's anything metallic in the outfit. But the sort of sculpted detail and the paint application I think is quite nice. I think it's got a nice sort of weathered leather type look to it, with that sort of silver lining on it, and on the arms. The thing I do like about the hands is I do like the glossy fingernails as opposed to a matte finish on the fingernails, so they do sort of pop in hand. I'm not sure if that's really picking up on the camera there, but the fingernails are quite nice, and the gauntlets. So there's no real leather straps apart from the areas down here, so I'm not sure. I don't think they're real leather, there's probably just a fake leather, but they are material straps there, not molded plastic, and they do sort of hold together that skirt. Now out of the box it does come a bit wrinkled, and I haven't done any sort of water treatment to it yet, but depending on how you want it, if you've got this skirt thing draping over it, you probably won't see it. But if you have it in the sort of bare bone style, you might just want to get a bit of water treatment going on just to get out those wrinkles out of the box. Now this piece around the waist here is held on by magnets, and there are a couple of slots that you fit in on the seams there around the side, so you just guide them in like that. It does stick out from the waist a little bit around here, but I guess that's not too big a deal, and I guess it probably does need that bit of a gap there to have the this material lying underneath. So I guess I can understand that design, and I guess back here those straps and that tie there is not material, it's just a molded string there. Would have been particularly nice if they had done that in mixed media, but that probably would have added a bit more to the complexity of the figure or the statue. The sort of skirt fronts here, they do have a wire, so you can sort of pose that flared out or in sort of any direction you want. So I'll try and get that in a natural sort of draping pose, and you can sort of lift it up, and I'm not going to show you what's underneath that skirt. I'll leave that to your imagination, and if you do get it, you can have a look underneath to see what she does have under there, but let's just say it doesn't leave too much to the imagination. The sculpting on the boots and the shin armor there is very nice. I do like the paint application. The dirt wash and the weathering is all very good, and the base itself, the base is actually pretty heavy. And I don't have any sort of rattling issues that some people have had, at least with their Skeletor. So all of my 3 statues so far with their bases have been pretty solid. And the paint application in the lava is quite nice. It does have a good glow in hand. And the overall sculpting detail is pretty much on par with what we got with Skeletor. So I do like that. The staff, again, is metal like it was with Skeletor. And I do like the detailing in the hand and so on. And you can just sort of see there, and you do get the translucent red globe, which does look quite nice. The hand doesn't move up and down, so you pretty much just have to position it. I actually thought the base of the staff was a bit further up front, but that results in this hand not being very secure at all with the magnet. So looking back at the prototype pictures, the staff does need to angle back behind her leg down there in order for the hand to actually sit nicely within its slot, and then you'll get no movement there. So I guess one of the common complaints with the Skeletor was that the hands were quite loose. For Evil-Lyn here, the hands are much firmer. You just have to get it into the right position. So can't complain too much about that either. But talking about complaints, my single biggest complaint, and I guess to some people it might be a nitpick, is when they showed the initial final production photos, I did notice that the statue was leaning forward a little bit unnaturally, and I think in hand it's not as bad or as noticeable as it was in the photos, but I do think it is leaning forward more than they intended. Because I compare it against the prototype photos, and the statue is definitely not leaning like it is. So you just have a look at her pose. I think the pose is actually quite nice for a female statue with the way her legs are. So it does look quite nice. But I think with her right leg here, it is more, I guess her weight is seemingly more on her left leg, which just doesn't make sense. She's sort of, leaning on this right leg here, so I actually think the statue would look much better if it was just tilted back just 5 degrees or something like that, where instead of having her leaning forward like that, comparing it against the prototype, you'll see that in a lot of photos she's actually, her body with her legs and her head here are actually in a straight perpendicular line to the ground, whereas now it's leaning forward slightly. So the only way that I can see of fixing that on my display at least, because they do have a couple of pegs in here that you slide in, so you can't really adjust the feet. So the only thing I can think of is to somehow inconspicuously put a piece of paper or or something underneath, just to prop it up, just that bit on the front edge, to give it that extra bit of lift at the front. And it probably won't be too noticeable on display with the base covering it, but it would just give that statue just that bit of extra lift, I guess, to give it that more natural pose, I think. So that's the only negative thing. I'm not sure why that was or why that happened in production, but I guess from most angles it doesn't look too bad, and I guess most people probably won't be too bothered by it, but I guess I would have preferred if it was exactly the way it was in the prototype photo. So, you know, if I did just lean her back just a little bit, it might just look a little bit more natural in that stance, that's all. But just to finish up, I might just grab the other two and give you a look at all three together. Hold on. Alright, so here they are together, and I have set up Evil-Lyn with her cape, I guess if you want to call it that. And it was a bit of a pain to try and get at least a natural looking drape to that, which I haven't probably succeeded too well in it. But overall, that's pretty much all you need to do, is to put those rings around the wrists and just connect that magnetic piece on the back there. So it does look quite nice. And again, I will be putting that little piece underneath the base just to make her stand a little bit vertically, so you can see that Skeletor is nice and straight in his pose, and so is He-Man. Sorry for his face there being hidden there, but there you go. But together, I'm absolutely loving this style of MOTU characters by Sideshow. It's you know, you can immediately recognize who they are, but they have a more sort of fantasy, almost barbarian type style to them. That's not too childlike and not too cartoon accurate. If they were to make a movie out of this style, I would definitely love it, I think. So if you're into MOTU, I would definitely recommend getting into these statues. They have teased She-Ra, which I guess is a bit disappointing for me. I really did want them to continue the core cast out of the premium art print. You know, characters like Man-at-Arms, Beastman, Merman, Trapjaw, you know, even Teela I thought was going to be next, but they chose She-Ra instead. But hopefully she's not the last one, and they do continue the line, because having a collection full of these in this style would be a collection worth having for many years to come. So hopefully you like that quick look at the new Sideshow Evil-Lyn statue. I got the exclusive. I think it's on the wait list now, but if you click that link in the description, you might be able to join the wait list, and hopefully it converts for you, or get the regular version. So hope you like that quick look. Hope you can subscribe. I've got a few more things coming from Big Bad Toy Store as well this time. So hopefully you can stick around for that in the next month or so. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.